So, here we are again, Mom Project. How are you doing, Terry? You alright?
Good morning. Yes, I'm alright, thank you.
Good. Guys, fight amongst yourselves. Tell me what's going on.
Fight amongst yourselves. Good line. So yeah, Samira from the Mind Festival here with my partner Lloyd. July the 4th, keep your dates open. Not to be mixed up with Suffolk Mind. We are a separate entity. We are a drug and alcohol free festival.
Right.
And we are also partnering with the Mind Over Matter project, the wonderful Kerry Mussington. Talking about suicide prevention as well. So there'll be 2 stages, 1 day of celebration, music and mind.
Alright, okay. Where is that going to be held?
So Beach Street in Felixstowe behind Manning's Amusement. They're actually whipping up the whole area, re-putting it back in.
Right.
Nice new facelift, and yeah, we'll be held there for the first year.
Okay. Kerry,
Yes.
how are you going to be involved in this?
Wow.
Sounds like fun.
It sounds absolutely amazing because really this is the biggest thing going really. To go into collab is an amazing thing because it's about the meaning. The concept for me is about raising awareness on the underlying issues that come with suicide and depression, drug and alcohol, as we said. All of those things come into play. So, you know, as we'll go into Caroline Flack, for example.
Which
right?
we will be speaking about.
Yes, we will. But the topic is, you know, it's all about prevention, and to have that platform to raise awareness to a big, huge community, it's going to reach so much more and get people talking about it for all the way from now to the lead up to it. It's going to get people talking about it and opening up. Those people that were hiding behind closed doors, unable to express depression and what they're going through, there are now, that will be a big opportunity for people to come out from behind closed doors, because depression is not something to be ashamed of.
Of course.
No.
So, how many people would you be expecting at this event?
So currently we have a space that can accommodate 2,000 people.
Okay.
So I guess the whole point behind this is a celebration of mind, and to really promote the fact that, you know, our problems are, whatever they are temporary, and if we pull together we can find solutions that will enable people to believe that there is a solution and they don't need to resort to drastic measures.
Yeah, of course. Is this something you've been personally, you guys, involved in a long time?
Yeah, I think for myself, when I was diagnosed with bipolar as well, and having a very close call with suicide, and it's not something to be joked about. It's something really, really serious, because to be in that situation where you're not in the right frame of mind through whatever reason, it's very hard. I mean, people find it draining to talk about it as is, and I think now the world slowly but surely is coming more open to the idea that something isn't okay, something isn't right with how the mind is starting to work. But I think we have to pull together. I think Kerry does amazing things with the community, and I think being from Ipswich, there wasn't something like the Mind Festival.
Right.
It started off quite an egotistical thing. I want this to work for me, but now I've actually looked at it from a bigger picture. It's something that comes from a place of love and understanding. And myself being a DJ, I wanted to do something that was very musical and have a really big, beautiful stage, as you would a generic festival, but alcohol and drugs free, and to be able to talk about your mental health and feel, rather than going to a festival to forget about your problems, you can go there and own them and talk about them and eat good food and listen to great music.
No, brilliant. No, it sounds like it would be great.
Thank you.
Question that I want to ask, which is sort of slipped my mind because I'm thinking about several things. When people go to this festival, will there be other health professionals there that you can, or that they can speak to, or is it just going to be a gathering of like-minded people?
Okay, I guess what we're creating is an environment where we will have, yes, people from all different professional backgrounds, as well as people that are on the positive side, have dealt with these situations, come through themselves, and will be speaking about their own experiences.
So this is lived experiences?
Lived experiences, yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Which then brings me on to the next point, and I don't want to detract from what you guys are doing, but we've all seen the story this week about Caroline Flack from Love Island, tragically taking her life on Saturday. Everybody's got their own thoughts, I've got my own thoughts, but what do you guys collectively think and feel
I think
about it?
Sorry,
I was just going to say about it, and I don't want to detract from the suicide, but the way that the media has been sort of saying that she's been trolled and
definitely, I think, been trolled. I think it intensifies the process leading up to. The police were actually called to her house, I believe, and she was under the influence of drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
I don't know if this is...
Was this...
I think it was a week prior. I'm not really sure about the ins and outs, but this is when Kerry was saying it's all massively linked. They all come under the same umbrella: drug and alcohol abuse, bipolar, anxiety, depression. They're all linked in together. They're all evil stepsisters that kind of like get together and try and attack you at the same time. And I think the poor woman, must have been in a very, very, very unclear place. And I think that, again, being under the influence of whatever she was under it intensifies that even further, on top of being trolled by the media.
But I think anyone that's had the lived experience, we kind of go deep within ourselves to relate to how she was feeling. Mm-hmm. So with the fact of how she was feeling, yes, she was really nervous up leading to her court case. And I got people putting selfies on Facebooks saying this one's for Caroline Flack, supportive. I'm sorry that suicide leaves a remarkable hole in other people's lives, carrying on the depression. She was a role model, yes. So what this is doing is sending a very clear message to people that are listening or are only jumping halfway on the bandwagon. There are underlying issues for her depression and her suicide. One of those was the lead up to court. We know there was violence in there. I'm not going to dismiss this because that's what's getting dismissed here. Yes, we all get in a very scary place. That's why we end up doing these drastic things. But that's because there are consequences to our actions going forward with our lives. And we do mess up. We do drink alcohol and drugs and done all of those things to mask the underlying current of what's going on with ourselves. And I'm not going to mask here about this situation. It is a tragic situation that she committed suicide, and nobody should be that desperate to do that. People give up because they couldn't find a way out. But it's patience and emotions will only last temporarily, and then you'll go through and you'll be okay. But whatever the issues somebody is facing, whether it's court, whether it's children, and those horrible, awful situations that these people think, I don't know what's going to happen to me. She must have been in so much fear, thinking she was even going to maybe face prison. Those are all the thoughts that go through people's heads when they're in trouble with the law. And so, and embarrassment, shame, guilt, all of that. But the aftermath now is going to be falling on her partner, because he's now feeling all sorts of things. He's actually retracted his statement to say she didn't hurt him. Well, domestic violence is one of the things I want to say to women out there, that if a man was to hit a woman and took his life, there'd be people out there saying it's so good on him. Do you know what I mean?
This is the problem, isn't it?
The issue is because she took her life and didn't step up to the consequences of what happened. She could have worked through them. They could have got counselling. They could have done all of those things. She took a way out. And people say it's an easy way out. It is an easy way out. I don't want to do this anymore because I can't find another way forward. And it's that strength to hang on. That's not something she just went, okay, I don't want to be here. That was planned. That was already preconceived before she even did the event.
I think that's where the drugs and alcohol come into play.
That's absolutely, yeah, because you just then pick up those things and mask the situation. And it just pushes you into doing stupid things. She made a mistake. We've all made mistakes, and her death should not go in vain. But I want to make it known that yes, there's Caroline Flack, but there's all the other people that have committed suicide or tried to commit suicide that are still here. There are people's lives that are lost. Okay, so they need recognition also.
And that's the thing. Obviously, she had celebrity status because of her being being the host of Love Island, but you touched on it briefly. Do you think that the media is looking at this heavier because she was a celebrity?
I think, yeah, and I think, I think it's unfair that celebrities should be, have a higher status to say, you know what, let's shut it down now and close all of this cyberbullying or online trolling. Well, if it wasn't for people opening up in the first place about all the horrible stuff that happens to these children and BBC and all of the Jimmy Saviles and stuff like that, nobody would be speaking out. There'd be more suicides. Nobody would be speaking out. But what's happening here is they're trying to say, look, let's shut down the media. Well, where were they when I was being cyberbullied? I had 9 people cyberbully me. Cyberbullying is absolutely horrific, but there are measures you can take to put into place. These battles that we have and the people that bully us, we've been bullied from the minute we started walking, those that have been abused, etc. Okay, so we've had a battle all our lives. So the point is, bullies, you have to say no to bullies no matter what, and you have to find the strength within you to do something about it. Go to the police, take the right measures, but don't take measures into your own hands.
So again, there's two elements to it in my mind anyway. There's the cyberbullying element of it, but there's also the CPS, Crown Prosecution side of it. And just the way it's being displayed, it would appear that the general public are concerned that she was being hounded by the CPS, which is two different things in my mind. So you've got your online trolling and your online bullying. She's committed a crime.
There's procedures.
Allegedly.
Well,
okay, because obviously she's not now going to have a trial and so on and so forth. But we know she'd been to court. She had been charged with the offence, which I believe was going to be GBH, grievous bodily harm. Do you think that the CPS were right to continue because there's issues,
yes,
whether or not they know she's vulnerable or she isn't vulnerable and so on and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely, because I know from my own past experience that even though you're vulnerable and you're feeling suicidal, etc., you're feeling that way because of the issues that are going on in your life. Okay, not just from where you were from a child. That's just extra baggage that you've actually informed those coping strategies. But where we are in the here and the mist now is that those consequences of her actions, just like anybody else, there are consequences.
Yeah.
Now, you cannot take matters into your own hands, hurt someone to the point where they're bleeding and not expect to be... That's what the police are there for, to do their job. They're not there to sit here and assess your mental health. They're there to do your job. If you were not fit for trial, you will wait until you are fit for trial.
And again, if you use the words quite correctly, if you're not fit for trial, I would anticipate that there would be a number of psychiatric assessments and so on and so forth.
Yeah, she would have had probation services to even investigate and to put, issues. The outcome of that court case would have been the fact of she would have had all the assessment. I've been on probation before in my past for acting erratically because I was drunk, and I know that the fact that I got put on, what do you call it, a community service. Right. I had a community service. Now, for having
unpaid work.
Absolutely. Because I had community service, I then had a whole build-up of to get assessed, mental health. It was also written up of what would be the care plan, etc. as well. So, there would have been steps to work around her, whether she got a community order or not. There would have been steps around that. But either way, if you've done something wrong to someone, if that was my son, okay, and my son was beaten by a woman, then I'm sorry, there are consequences. I would have hoped that there would have been prosecution. I would not expect somebody to have ended their life and that would have been the last thing. But that's probably what it is, isn't it? It's
Because
the build up to all of it. She was in fear.
Yeah, okay, so because this is the other point which seems to have just died a death part of the fun, where nobody's mentioning if it was the partner or the other way around, had he hit.
I think people are mentioning it. I think it's something people are talking about.
Are they? Because personally I've not seen it, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, hang on a minute, what if it was the other way?
Honestly, I think looking at this, man or woman, it's unacceptable to hit someone, full stop. For her to have taken her own life is tragic.
Yeah.
These are the key points here, in my opinion. If I try and dissect it down in a pragmatic way, her taking her life, the lead up to it, as Kerry was saying, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear there for her to have thought that the only way out, or the pain must have been that great for her, that suicide is the only answer. I myself am a lived experience.
Me too.
And for having my family come to the hospital and see me there was still not enough for me to change my behaviours that were no longer serving me. So I can't imagine then on top of that, hitting someone, then being hounded by the police, then being in Crown Court. We can only understand as much as we understand. I truly believe that, again, if it was a different sex, if it was a male, still equally unacceptable. And obviously, unfortunately, the society we live in is very much, excuse the word, it bastardised men over women. It's very phallocentric in terms of the fact that it will make one man be out very different from a female, which I think is unacceptable now in the world that we live in. I think it has to be a little bit more equal, and equality does actually just mean, or feminism just means, equality for men and women.
Yeah.
So I think, take it for what it is. Don't dwell on it too much. Say a prayer for her and her family, and move on from the situation.
Yeah.
And all the as Kerry rightly said, all the countless people, 40 minutes a day someone loses their life to suicide. Let's remember these people. Every 40 minutes, if you need to say
40 seconds a day.
40 seconds a day.
Seconds.
And every 19 men kill themselves daily. So whether it's related to domestic violence or drug abuse or alcohol abuse, just remember them people also. I think keep it at that.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, that brings it back to the fact that, you know, people generally who take their lives through suicide, it's not their lives that they want to live, it's the pain that they want to end. And there are many ways to kind of stop that pain by trying to find ways to deal with that. And I guess that's what we really need to create, you know, and our goal, and especially with this collaboration of the Mind Festival and Mind Over Matter group, is to create that place where people believe they can come and help find a solution. So, you know, when we get to that point where we start to consider taking our own lives, you know, we can reach out and get some help from people who've been there and experienced it themselves.
Yeah. So on that point, you guys as a collective now joining forces, away from what you guys do respectively, do you think enough is being done in society towards mental health?
I think with the communities, I think the first thing is, I think the reason why I was drawn to Kerry from our first point of contact was the fact she does a lot for the community. The key word here is community.
Yeah.
Don't be so arrogant. My mum told me this, so shouts to mum.
Yeah,
To Maria, if you're listening. Don't be so arrogant to assume you can change the whole world.
Yes.
And the fact she used the word arrogance kind of rung out a little bit truer than other quotes or sayings that you hear.
Yes.
The reason being is, if you set your will sincere, your national life will be in order. If your own home is in order, if your community is in order,
Yes.
look after your neighbour, the person next to you that suffered with a lived experience or with drug and alcohol abuse or anxiety or depression or bipolar or whatever.
Yes.
They're horrible diseases. These are mental illnesses. Let's not try and mask them and say these things can be changed by this, that. They can't. What we can do is be there as a community. And this is what we want to offer at the Mind Festival. And this is what Kerry offers for the Mind Over Matter project, which I'm eager to volunteer with. Purely because from my own experiences, I know how lonely it can be. From your own experiences, I would assume you know how lonely it can be. From Lloyd's experiences also. That's why we're here. to send a message. Nothing more, nothing less. So take it as you will also, but we hope that we do see you on July the 4th.
Yeah, that's it. July the 4th, save the date, and also the 29th of February. Get your tickets. I mean, if you really want to know about raising awareness and supporting human life, then you will support the Mind Over Matter project, also known as the MOM project. We have upcoming events coming in Woodbridge on the 29th of February, 12 till 2. It's a ticket event. You can find those tickets on Eventbrite. I would appreciate your backing. If you're talking about Caroline Flack, please talk about the ones in your community also that are not receiving information. And this is why it's important that we ask you to share the awareness. That means a simple share button or share the information. Gossip. Like, this is the opportunity for the first time in your life. We ask you to gossip. We ask you to go online and look at our stuff. Gossip, because suicide is no joke. I am a woman that has founded this project based on my own life experiences, and I hate wasting my breath to people that are not listening, and I find the community are not listening. Those people that are out in the community see my growth. If they knew my pain, they would be behind what we're doing here. If they knew your pain, they'd be behind what you're doing. So for us, we're now to have a team of like-minded behind Mind Over Matter. And it's very appropriate. It's called Mind Festival.
I know.
Also.
It's like the universe is trying to pull us together, Karen.
Yeah, it's now going to send a very more clear message, because I will be gossiping about this. I will be making sure that if anybody wants to volunteer and be a part and be a body for the day, we do expect people to get behind what we're doing, because we're trying to save your friends and family here, the people that are not coming out and speaking behind to you to explain to you how they're feeling. We're trying to help.
Because there are a lot of people, as you know, that suffer in silence, don't they?
They suffer in silence because they're afraid. The nerves come in, they're afraid. They want to talk. Some people, I've got viewers, 580 viewers that we have on my MOM project. If 580 viewers shared the information and it saved one life, that's good enough for me. But I know that what my project is doing has saved life, is saving life, and we have provided workspace for them every Friday. And we're also going to be providing a drop-in centre in Ipswich. Absolutely.
Have you got any details on that?
We will start that. I'm going to get a little bit warmer because it's a bit cold in here at the minute. But it will be a drop-in centre, and we will be having it at ICR. We will also have classes of education also. So it's about providing opportunities, and anybody who wants to volunteer I like people with a lived experience, because I know that they shouldn't let anybody else down. And they'll only give what they can, and if that is a body for the day and show up just to hand out a leaflet, that's good, because that's still raising awareness.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Participation.
So we've got lots on, and visit www.momproject.co.uk. There is a donate button.
I wouldn't mind a donate right now. I'm hungry for
There is a
breakfast.
donation button there, and as minimum, you know what they say, as minimum as £1 a month or something like that, will actually eventually contribute to another workshop, so we can provide something else. And I think we're going to go down the drug and alcohol route and do something different with Mind Over Matter. We are not like other people, because we've had a lived experience. We're going to make it available where you can relate to these workshops, because there's nothing worse than sitting in a workshop and a recovery
what's
workshop,
going on here?
and then they say, here's a crayon, go and dribble and scribble. And we're not that people, we're human beings. And I like to treat my clients, my members, the same way I want to be treated. I'm real, I swear, yes. But that's part of my condition, I'm afraid.
It's part of recovery as well.
That's part of the recovery. And those people that watch my lives, and sometimes that I do swear, then, hold it against me. At least I'm doing something for the community. That don't discriminate is the way I look at it. And understand how we cope through these emotions when we're talking. Because if somebody is swearing and they're relate, clearly they're emotionally disturbed. And by something.
And it could be distressed.
I swear instead of self-harming. So I want my viewers and my friends to know that Kerry swears when she's angry and upset because somebody has hurt her, instead of self-harming. So I want people to understand that people's behaviour is based on how they encountered somebody else's demeanour and what they've said, the wording and certain wordings are triggers, and it is no reflection on the person who's encountering, but it just is a bad memory from somebody that has done something nasty to us in the past. So going forward, I'm looking forward to the 4th of July. I am so looking forward to that. We will have guest speakers really giving a lived experience.
Excellent.
And I'm so glad to have met you.
Thank you, Karen. I'm glad to meet you too.
And I won't be the last here because you're going to come in one of the workshops.
You'll be bored of me after. You'll be kicking me out.
And thank you, Lloyd, as well, for meeting you today as well. It's brilliant. And yeah.
Okay, well, as usual, guys,
Can we have some music?
I always run out of time on my show, but in the last couple of minutes, I'm going to try and squeeze one track in. I've got a couple of minutes. Do you guys just want to reiterate when your events are going to be and where, so the listeners can take down those details?
We'll go up.
So July the 4th.
Yep.
Okay.
From 12 till 12, the Mind Festival, Beach Street, Felixstowe. Find us on Facebook at The Mind Festival or Instagram at The Mind Festival.
You will be able to find those details on my webpage as well, which I've given you, which is www.momproject.co.uk. The 29th of February at Woodbridge, 12 till 2 is a ticket event only. Please do purchase a ticket. And we also got another one on the 28th of March, which will cover the crime prevention side of it and try to arm you with some of the information that's needed to prevent again. So, yeah.
Excellent. One question I didn't ask you guys: the festival, 4th of July, is that a free event? Can anyone?
No,
just rock up?
it's a ticket event. Tickets are on sale. So it's a ticket event. They are £20 a ticket. Now, 25% of all funds that we take are being donated directly to mental health charities around the country.
Okay. Any particular charity in question that you want to mention? Or?
Not at this stage. Don't want to mention any charities right now.
Yeah, sure.
Just some back end stuff.
Yeah, no, of course, I understand that totally.
Yeah, mine though. The Mom Project. The Mom Project
we have
is
a
up
big
there.
surprise for on
Yep,
stage with
absolutely.
myself and Kerry.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, as you know, I know Kerry's getting everywhere at the minute, so it's
She's got them wings, hasn't she?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, Alicia. Can I just give a quick I've got 2 seconds. So Dave says, without you, young Kerry, I would not be here. So buying a ticket is a small price to pay. How many have you supported? And I can't read the rest of that without scrolling. Sorry, Dave. Thank you very much.
Hello, Dave.
Alicia says, Kerry helped me get out of the train tracks and into my flat, and I owe her my life. Oh, you know what?
Amazing.
Guys, you are absolutely brilliant. Annabelle's brilliant. Oh, look, see what you've got your good supporters. All those that are on the Mom Project, Mental Health Awareness, Suicide Prevention on Facebook, thank you for being our supporters. Just share a little bit more. And all those behind the scenes, our clientele, I want to say you're amazing, incredible people. Everybody is. Find your niche, find your strength, and go forward. Today is just an emotion, and we're a roller coaster, but the next ride will be better.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, guys, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
And hope to see you guys again soon. Please do pop back down to the studio. We have more information, and we'd be glad to have a chat with you guys. So thank you very much for coming in. All right. And for my listeners, I will be back here on Tuesday, every Tuesday, 10 till 11, and I'll have my usual updates for you. So go safe, be mindful there is going to be some bad weather coming, and I'm going to play you out with the man himself, James Brown. See you next week.
Ow! Yes, get some t-shirts.
Woo!
Turn it up. Yeah, right. This is our happy moment. We're going to give you some happy time now, right? Come on, let's put a smile on their face.
Now. Come on, who's smiling?
Who's signing on? Come on.
Who's
Buy a
smiling?
t-shirt shop and donate direct to the website.
Yeah,
Just give it.
Wow.
Yeah, who wants to do a crowdfundme? Who's done
Right,
that?
send it out to everyone.
Yeah, do it.
Send it them, love.
That's a good idea.
Ooh.
You know what? You're amazing, beautiful people. You're waving, Dave.
Waving
Hi,
back.
Dave.
Who we got on here today? Let's have a look. Ooh, we have Sadia. Hello, my gorgeous sis. Annabelle, my sis Sophie, Leash. Look at these. Annabelle, Gabrielle. Hi, good morning, Dave.
Cole getting some
Gemma,
thumbs up,
Peace,
thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs
Lovejoy,
up.
Dave, Sarah Willis, Lil Rolf, Anthony, Simply Carl Seeger, Tut Mitchell, oh bless, Percy Fox, Annabelle, Dave Powell, Alicia. Right, you guys, you've got to come to the festival, right? You're all going to come. 4th of July. It's our day out, a Pamper Me Day.
Community Radio. Calling all smart speaker owners.
Ta-ta!
Amazon.
We did something great today. We raised awareness.
We love Kerry, we do.
Hello.
I love you guys. Bye.
On your Amazon.